So there's been some talk, some propaganda, if you will, and I'm completely joking, just so everybody is aware that this is sarcasm. But there's been some talk that I don't care about the Ironborn, and that is true. But for the sake of humoring everybody, this is the current Iron King. It's a good brother. I think it's been that way for a very long time. And honestly, if we go back through the history, you'll be able to see, yeah, it's been that way for, about 25 years. Before that, it was House Iron Grey, or Grey Iron, I'm sorry. House Grey Iron. And, yeah, this is Iron King Baron II, who is slow. And, I always forget how much people like the Iron Isles. I'm not really that big of a fan. I've done a Euron, or I've tried to play as Euron over here in A Feast for Crows whenever he's landing on the Shield Isles. And, that's fun because it's difficult. But I just don't have the personality type that likes to play as the reaving, power-hungry Ironborn, who's just... it almost feels kind of angsty to me. But, I mean, that's fine if you're into that. That's cool with me. And who knows, it may grow on me at some point, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is the Iron Isles. I just don't want it said that I never, ever look at the Iron Isles. So we begin today's episode with a bit of diplomacy, if you will. So this is going to be some diplomatic meetings between the High King Aegon of the Woods and some of the surrounding High Lords that are still currently independent. The first one we begin in Wickenden over here. We have Lord Lucius Brownhill, who is a first man and is prepared to accept their offer of vassalization in order to extend the borders of the woods into further into the Vale Peninsula. So over the Bay of Claws, or the Bay of Crabs, this little piece of land juts and is separated by the mountain range right over here. Similarly, down here in the south, the Lord Alex of the Straits of Tarth, Evanstar, is prepared also to accept our offer of vassalization, bringing Woodmere into the fold without declaring war to take it. And also, similarly, I don't know that this is going to remain true. Let's see. This gentleman right here, Lord Thomas of Massey's Hook, is prepared also to accept our offer of vassalization. And so this just expands the borders of the woods. It eats them a little bit into the lands of the storm down here, who eventually will come into the fold. I'm assured. I'm very sure that will happen. But yeah, that is our first step today. We're going to kind of advance and look. Before, originally, there was this guy. Let's see. There was a dragon rider over here. Yeah, this guy, and his daughter is currently ruling, and she's a Soci Valyrian. So there's that. That actually may be a good match for like Brendan. She's kind of young though, for Lord Clove. She is friends with this dragon, this brand new dragon, and I imagine that there is also Sharp Point. So there's also a dragon over here. Oh, it's the same lady. It's the same girl. Okay. So there's also a dragon in her court who is ridiculously strong. Yeah, 161 years old, 83 martial, playful and obedient. So it may be worth bringing them into the fold and having good relations with them for the extra dragons, so to speak, but also marrying into their family in order to, prevent any kind of issues down the line. I did, there's not any congenital traits here. I did heard it say that, or heard it said that there's potential that us breeding into the High Valyrian traits and High Valyrian blood mixing with First Man blood has maybe resulted in some of the negative congenital traits that we've seen, namely the hunchback and the dwarf daughter and son that we have. Potentially, maybe, you never know. Let's see who we have for betrothal options. Adric is out on his foreign tour, and he's kind of old for this. So we also have Xavier, who is 13. He's the third son. That may actually be the best option. He's a fantastic fighter. He has the most potential, I think, and he's a little bit younger than Brendan. And we want Brendan to produce as many heirs as possible quickly. And we want House Clove to have that ability, that option. Yeah, let's do that. Let's oh man, okay. There wouldn't be any of that. Maybe once she's in the fold, there would be more of a, there we go. All three of them accepted. Yeah, maybe once she's a part of the kingdom, there would be more inclination to accept that offer. Still no. Okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. I think, yeah, the plot power is going to be really low on that. So this is her mother by the look of it. And her sister's over in Tolos. Okay. Well, that's just going to be something to keep an eye on. And see if maybe there's a chance that we can kind of bring her into the fold. Can we send her a gift? Do we have enough gold for that? We do. We'll send her a gift, make her like us a little bit more. Same thing over here. Woodmere. Actually, he does already have a positive opinion of us. The High Lord is right here in Haystack Hall, and he has a positive opinion of us. I don't know why we're getting a short reign qualifier. We've been reigning for 20 years. Maybe we've been reigning for a short time over that particular area, perhaps. I would offer the same to Summerfield, but they're actually in war for Rainwood independence against the Stormlands, so I'm not even going to worry about that. They're kind of in the middle of their own thing right there. So yeah, this is kind of the plan. We'll kind of go through it. I'm going to advance time, and we're just going to work on gradually expanding our borders out while we get the new high houses of the woods all situated and prepared for what's ahead. So yeah. I'm excited. This is good. This is good. Let's press forward and let's get stuff done today. So something very sad has happened. My daughter, my dwarf daughter, my second daughter, has died of poor health at the age of 17. I was actually just looking around to see if we could find a good marriage alliance for her, and she died. So we're actually going to hold a funeral, and I think we'll just do all the vassals in court. I think that will be sufficient for this funeral. It's an opportunity to have a feast, that's for sure. But also, members of House Bear in particular need to be honored. So, my king, my mission to improve your good name has so far been a success. During a visit to the court of Pirate Lord Ronnie of Kalis of North Crackclaw, I seem to have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you really are. He sends his regards. So, yeah, there's that. This guy keeps having his opinion improved, but it's, yeah, he's follows the pirate gods, and, he's also zealous, so that doesn't help. I don't think this guy would ever accept... No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't accept an offer of vassalization, that's for sure. And I really don't want a pirate lord in our kingdom. Who's this guy? Pentos? The Magister of Pentos. That's crazy. So it's a merchant republic right there. Right there on Claw Isle. Okay, let's move on. Let's read this. When I opened the door and saw no one wait. When I opened the door, I saw no one, but as I stepped aside to close it, a group of acrobats cartwheeled, somersaulted, and tumbled in. They performed all sorts of tricks, and everyone watched exploded into applause when they finished. They'd be perfect for my feast, I suppose. So a new Lord Commander on the wall. The Lord Commander has died, Briar Malwood, who will replace him and serve the realm in these troubled times. So House Malwood, Lord Commander Briar, who is a great eminence, proud, brave, trusting, and patient. Good for him. Good for him. All the guests have arrived at Bear Hall, and it is now time to start the feasting to celebrate the life of Rhaenyra Bear. Willard has used his attendance at the feast at my daughter's funeral to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Gillam Mossfield sullied his honor by having illicit relations with his wife behind his back. Yikes. So Gillam Mossfield is actually one of my... Does he have titles? No, they're both courtiers. What do I care? I don't... Courtier... Interactions between courtiers really don't bother me. So now we have another one. Illyria of Woodmere is claiming that Miles of Woodmere had her kinsman, Gerald of Woodmere, murdered. Dun dun dun. And demands he be brought to justice. So Miles is the master at arms there, and he is a kinslayer. So I mean, let's arrest him, because you can't do that. Oh, he managed to escape. Wow. Okay, some of my guests did not seem satisfied with the food, but I would never have thought one of them would have complained. I spent so much money on the food. Are you kidding me? Would have complained out loud. Gillam, this guy, who I just made, forced to compensate, said a lot of nasty stuff about the food, and I can't help but feel irritated. Well, screw you, dude. The funeral. 3 days have gone by since Rhaenyra passed away, and the body was cleaned, prepared for burial, and wrapped in a shroud, and laid at the base of the weirwood tree. Kith and close kin of the dead relative arrive to mourn with each, placing offerings for the dead about the body. As darkness draws in, the gathered party makes their way to the Godswood, as the eldest kinsman, hooded and cloaked in heavy linen, proceeds forward and enters carrying the runic weirwood staff. Everyone present sets their eyes downcast, fearful of glimpsing the staff. The staff is put to the body to measure. Then the kinsman whispers to the body before departing. As soon as the ritual is concluded, those closest to the dead gather up the body and carry it to the grave, where they offer their final farewells. And so it is done. Rhaenyra Bear died of poor health at the age of 17. She was a woman and was a knight of the highest honor. Was she a knight? No, she was not. It's a weird thing to say about her. A little bit confusing there for a second. Just a little bit confused. But so we say goodbye to Rhaenyra Bear, who had poor health. And it's disappointing. I'm not going to lie. It's disappointing. Oh, look. We have a grandson of House Whitesteel who has Valyrian traits and is attractive. So that may be worth looking into in the future. I don't have any control over his... I can't restrict his marriage or anything like that, but this guy he's at court. I wonder if he won't come to court. What if I send him a gift of 15 gold? Will you that? Yeah, you will come to court. Cool. So he'll bring his wife with him. That's good. So they'll come to court and they'll actually be... There they are. Good. So now he's in my court. That's good. That's good. I wonder if maybe that will... if maybe he will be a good option to marry this girl. Oh, she's a slave owner. I wonder if we can... She has a opinion of 17. Arrange betrothal between her and... Where is he? No. It's the religion thing, man. It really is. It's the religion. Is slavery outlawed in the woods? Yeah, it's illegal. Can I imprison her? No, I'll get tyranny, even though she's a slave owner. It's like literally a trait that she has. It's confusing a little bit, man. Okay. Well, never mind any of that. Who's this guy's heir? I'm the heir of the Straits of Tarth. So we may have a new High Lord in the Straits of Tarth before long. That may be a good spot to land our bastard son as a cadet house, potentially. I mean, he won't come back as a different religion because he's zealous, so that helps a little bit. That offsets things. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what he comes back as, or how he comes back. If he comes back, because there's always a chance that he won't want to come back. I'm surprised I can't imprison. Oh, Brendan, what did you do? I placed Brendan down here at the Tower of Dread in order just to give him some land so he doesn't disappear. So we'll see how he goes, and hopefully he produces a nice child for us. He's the leader of a plot. End plot. Why? I don't know why auto stop plots turned off. I always turn that on. Okay. There's a lot of plans to kill people around here. Not cool, guys. Not cool. Look at this. Atreus died of poor health too. I don't know what is happening here. Just a small private funeral will suffice, but that's crazy. Was his health low? I don't know if there's any way to see that. I'm telling you, I'm a little weirded out by the fact that this keeps happening. It makes me like really wonder if the Curse of Harrenhal is a thing. It like makes me nervous when stuff like this happens. Like, it really hasn't been that big of a deal, like, till now. And I just wonder, like, maybe... I don't see any indication that there's issues. Look, we have a daughter who's strong. That's good. Or a granddaughter, not a daughter. A granddaughter, Princess Lacey of Seaguard, who is strong. That's good. That'll be good going forward once we play as Valar, who I'm still very, very excited about. It makes me wonder, though. Like, seriously, like, I'm getting nervous. I'm glad Valar's not in Bear Hall right now, but it makes me wonder, like, I hope we don't end up with a situation like great, Prince Xavier's gluttonous and an erudite. I'm gonna have to change his guardian over once he's closer to 16, once he's closer to getting his final education trait, just because the learning is low, and Lord Edric doesn't have over 10 learning, so I'm gonna have to maybe transfer him back under me in order to make sure his education trait comes out the way we want it to. I wish he would. Okay, so what I think I'm actually going to do is I think I'm going to transfer Prince Xavier to Lord Lionel, or Sir Lionel, who is our Master at Arms, so that he's in Bear Hall instead of over in Lawleston with Edric Weirwood. So I think that's going to be the right process. Let's do that. Let's assign Guardian. Am I even able to do that? Xavier to... Wow. Lionel, there he is. Okay. That'll be good. That'll give us a chance. Let me look at his birthday while I'm thinking about it. Let's... Oh, it just happened. So my kids don't really get along, but... Okay, so he has his adult portrait now, which means we have a year. So by... I'm now known as the Eagle? What is up with that? So I have about a year before we have to transfer Xavier back to us. Because even Lionel doesn't have that high of a learning, and so the education trait he gives to Xavier won't be that great. Your priest, Eloni Brooke, was performing charity work in your name, making the ultimate sacrifice when she was cornered by a desperate crowd of beggars in Bear Hall and trampled to death. Wow. That's charity's dangerous work, man. I'm telling you. So we need another priest. And none of these people are actually priests, but I think with the old gods it's wide open. So I want to choose somebody with good learning who isn't who doesn't hold titles. All of these people are my courtiers. Let's make this guy who's actually a priest the priest. That's probably the smartest decision that we could make, right? Even though he has lower learning, it's probably the smartest decision that we could make. Okay, let's go ahead and advance and push forward. I'm confused as to why we have the Eagle as our nickname. I mean, it's a cool nickname, but we're the Eagle of House Bear? That doesn't make any sense. Lots of animals going on here. Let's check on Winged Stranger while we're in this area. 76 years old, 44 martial. That's pretty good for that that size. Typically, what you can count on in this scenario with dragons is their martial is about half of what their age is. So he's a little ahead of schedule. That's good. Okay, everything's looking good here. I'm not super concerned with it. Everything's going down in the Stormlands. How's that war going down here? Storms and the League Independence War. So does that mean these guys won their war? They're currently independent. They're fighting 3 wars. Looks like all 3 of them are, no, 2 of them are Andal invasions, and 1 of them is the Reach trying to claim Summerfield. Let's check on the Reach. Look, how's the Reach doing? Phantom Pain from his missing... He's infirm. This guy's friends with my son. That's weird. It's kind of weird to find out. So he did have a child, a daughter. Oh, that's right, who I married to Atreus, who didn't produce an heir. So there goes that chance of the reach happening. This guy, Tumbledon, is right here. And his heir is his child. So the reach is no longer in play to accidentally fall under the woods, which is probably for the best. I wouldn't really want that to happen just because, you know. Typically there would need to be something, I don't know, something cool that would happen in order for us to gain a giant kingdom like that. Whoa. Of all the things I expected to come from this foreign tour, this is not one of them. Your bastard son Adric has arrived home to Bear Hall from his tour, and he seems shaken up. After visiting many exotic places, he arrived at Gardak, got into a dispute with a local merchant. Apparently this led to Adric being kidnapped and suffering painful injuries at the merchant's command. He refuses to name this merchant. Interesting. Very interesting. So he gains the trait Blinded. And he's back from his foreign tour. Wow. So Blinded is really nerfed his martial. And has even nerfed his intrigue a little bit. Those were his two strongest traits. Okay, I need to take a look at this because... Oh, look! I didn't transfer him under me, and he still ended up with Brilliant Commander. That's good. I forgot to do it. Oh, and he's a squire. That's cool. So maybe he can be a knight. But great martial. Look at that. Skilled fighter. Didn't end up getting formidable fighter, but that's... I mean, diligent, brave, erudite, and gluttonous. That's a good character right there. That's a good character, and I wonder what his dragon taming chances are. Probably not great. It's probably not worth it to risk giving him a dragon egg and risk him dying. But he's going to be a really good commander. I need to find a good alliance and a good marriage to have him in, because otherwise we're going to end up in a situation where I don't have the ability to make those alliances. Let's check on things over here. Oh, look, this genius Lannister girl, who's a tyrant, but I wonder if we can arrange a betrothal between her and Xavier. Look, they would prefer a matrilineal marriage, but they're not going to deny it. That is very tempting. I'm going to do it. It's very tempting. At worst, that would end up with a permanent alliance with the Reach, because they're of the same house. Wow, that's awesome. Very cool there. So it makes me wonder. I don't think I have any other. I don't have any other unmarried children. Oh, look at Valor. Suffering from the balding. Apparently his green dreams didn't foresee this. Oh no. So he's only got 2 kids, and it looks like he's not gonna have any more, or he hasn't had any more. There's no more on the horizon. Prince Estin's not doing that bad. I don't have any way to control his childhood focus, though. Okay. Let's continue. Let's advance. We are currently 52 years old, so we need to start thinking long term what the future holds for House Bear.